Hello ladies and gentlemen, Dor here and welcome back to another YouTube video. And let's say I'm going to be showing you guys some of the best routes you can fly in infinite flight but without that pro subscription. Now, I know many of you viewers don't actually have access to Infinite Flight Pro because it is very expensive, don't get me wrong. So I've got some 5 of the best routes down below which are definitely worth doing. And I would recommend. And at the end, I'll do a few extra honourable mention routes. But I've got 5 different routes involving 5 different aircraft for you all. So hopefully there's a wide range of stuff to get you going. So the first place that's taking us is San Francisco Airport. Now, departing from San Francisco Airport, we're going to be taking the Airbus A321, which should have a live cockpit. And we're going to take, you can either take the American Airlines livery on this, you can take the Delta or the Spirit. So pretty much any American airline. I don't think JetBlue fly much on the West Coast, but we'll take American Airlines to be safe. Or actually Delta probably is the more safe option because I'm pretty sure they're one of the biggest airline in the United States. Because yeah, they definitely dominate the market whenever I look on Flight Radar to see what's going on. So yeah, this flight goes from San Francisco Airport to Los Angeles International Airport, and we're going to take the A321. So the flight time is about an hour-ish. It depends how fast you climb and travel. So it's all dependent on your the route you take, your chosen flight plan and everything. And basically, so you'll be departing from San Francisco. And what I recommend is when you do your flight plans, you can use your Citizen Stars and just make sure you use it. So we want to head south-ish. So yeah, you can literally choose one of these which will take you near enough most of the way. So if we just select this one, for example, take this one, and then pretty much Los Angeles isn't that far from where we've departed. There we go, it's right there. So that's Clacks is where you'll be finishing your flight in the A321. So it's a nice little flight. Again, so we'll just get a quick idea for the distance. Yes, it's about 300 nautical miles, so it should take you about an hour-ish. Hopefully by the time you climb you'll have a couple of minutes at cruise. But I think the A321 is a lovely aircraft in infinite flight, and both of these airports are 3D in infinite flight. So both of the airports are 3D, so you'll get a lovely view, and you also get to travel down the amazing west coast of the United States. So that's the first flight route on this video. Now the second one is for a bit of an OG. So if you're an old Infinite Flight player and you have not flown Infinite Flight in a very long time, I'd recommend again this route. Now this might be a bit nostalgic for some of you. It definitely is for me. So you're going to either get the American Eagles CRJ, you're going to get the Delta, even the Infinite Flight livery might work. Northwest Airlines, I'm not too sure where they used to fly, but we'll hop in Delta again. And we're going to be going to Los Angeles International Airport. Now, if any of you can guess what route we're going to be doing, if I haven't already said it, let me know down below before I let you know. So, we're departing Los Angeles Airport. Now, this flight is only a matter of minutes. And when Infinite Flight like online multiplayer first came about, this was a very, very popular route. And it does depart from Los Angeles Airport. And you literally just hop along and you go down to this little island here called Canuck. Now this place back in the day was packed with aircraft. Like, I cannot stress how busy it was. Literally a 56 nautical mile flight from your departing airport. So you can do this in a matter of minutes. You can do it in pretty much any aircraft. But I thought the CRJ, you know, it's a nice little aircraft. Like, it's got a 3D cockpit. Unfortunately, it's not animated, a cockpit rework, and it's like not a rework, but just adding in some live panels. I think would be pretty cool. I'm not too sure if there is an interior on this aircraft. I got a feeling that it is. I think I've messed up. That's the cockpit seats. Yeah, so there is an interior. So this aircraft is pretty much perfect. And besides that live cockpit, which is missing. So I think this is definitely one of the aircraft to be fine. And yeah, again, departing Los Angeles Airport, it is 3D, of course. Unfortunately, Canuck isn't. Hopefully they make that 3D, or actually I think I'd prefer they keep it 2D, just for old time's sake and a bit of nostalgic vibes there. But yeah, if anyone remembers this route, please let me know down below. So that is the second route, which I would definitely recommend doing. Now the third route, we're going to be taking a 717 Spanair, so you can probably guess the rough region where we're going. So it's obviously this block here. And where we're going to be going from is Porto Airport. So we'll just spawn at Porto. And it's just a little hop across Portugal and halfway through Spain to Madrid Airport. Now again, both these airports are 3D for you, so you get 2 more 3D aircraft to use in your infinite flight journey here. Again, we're in the 717, which does have an interior. I think the cockpit is not really the best in this aircraft, unfortunately. Also, if the flight's taking forever to load, there we go. Yeah, so the cockpit, you know, it's not the best. But I think the aircraft in general, it's a lovely little plane. So if you are looking forward to some fun little 717 routes, because of course you are limited to these green squares when you're not using Pro mode, but you can fly from Porto to Madrid Airport, which is just down here in the other far corner. But you can also go up to places like, I don't even know what this is, yeah, but you get the idea. So you can go to the coastal regions. I'm pretty sure some of these like you should recognise if you do fly to Spain quite a lot. So I think there's some good destinations. Again, 2 3D airports, one to the next, and I think again this should be a great route for you. The flight shouldn't actually take that long as well, only a distance of 236 nautical miles. So again, I'm thinking about an hour-ish, maybe a little bit less, to complete your route in the 717 aircraft. So that shouldn't be too long. Now, route number 4 is, this is a bit of a weird route. Now, some of you might be opposed to it, but I'm going to say the aircraft you want to take for this is the X-Cub. Now, or even the Cessna. We'll take the Cessna. Let's take the Cessna instead of the X-Cub. Let's show it a bit of love, because I feel like it's a bit of a forgotten aircraft. So it doesn't really matter whatever we take. But we'll take the Cessna for this. And basically, we're going to be flying from Zurich down to Milan Airport. So we're going to cross over the Alps in between Switzerland and Italy, and these are magnificent. And I think the views in infant flight, especially when you don't have Pro, you can take advantage of these amazing things. So you can actually see straight from the takeoff and the runway. You've got the Alps there in the distance. And again, a lovely short flight in the Cessna flying through the Alps. You can even do it without using autopilot. Only 100 nautical miles, so you can complete it easily within an hour and a bit flying at Cessna speeds. I am just going to turn the engines off though, because it might upset some people there. So we'll just turn the engines down, very slowly. But yeah, just look at the views you get, even from here. But you get to fly over all of those amazing mountains. Again, also, we're at a 3D airport as well. And I'm just about to see if Milan is a 3D airport. Milan isn't a 3D airport at the moment. That's interesting. I thought it would be. But I'm sure very soon we can see Milan being a 3D airport in infinite flight. I don't think that'll take long. But again, you get to fly over some amazing scenery. Get to fly again, another amazing aircraft. It's got live working glass cockpit, I think it's called, this one. So you've got another live cockpit. So you're in for a treat here. I think this is one of the more fun routes as well, because you get to see some lovely scenery. Now, the next route is, of course, in the Singapore region. Go from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Now, you should pretty much instantly be able to guess. Now, there are 2 aircraft I would recommend using this for this route. Of course, back to old infinite flight times. The Malaysia Airlines A380, which hopefully in an A380 rework that'll get a new paint job, or the Singapore Airlines A380. So I'm just gonna go right here and load up the flight simulator for us all, and we should, in theory, be able to show you the route. Now, it is a nice little route, this one. Again, flying the A380, one of the more popular or well-known aircraft in the world. Infinite flight, it's not really that good in comparison to some of the aircraft I've shown you. So look at the cockpit here. It's a little bit worn down, but of course you're here just to fly the routes and get some good scenery. So we're going to be obviously departing Kuala Lumpur, like I've shown you, and we're going to be travelling along the coast of Malaysia down to here, another 3D airport at a distance of 161 nautical miles. So you will complete this within like half an hour, hopefully. That's interesting as well to see that Kuala Lumpur isn't 3D. I thought it was. So again, an airport which isn't 3D, but you will be landing at the amazing Singapore or Changi Airport, which I believe is 3D. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. And again, the amazing A380. This aircraft is not to be underestimated in infant flight. It handles really well, and it's just a lovely aircraft all in all. So if you are looking to fly in some fun big aircraft in infant flight like the A380, if that's what you're looking for, then this is the route I'd definitely recommend if you can't get Pro. So that is my 5 main routes for you. Now just some little honourable mentions. So I haven't mentioned the South African region, where you can go from Fact, which is Cape Town, to Johannesburg, which is somewhere, I believe. Actually, I don't know if we can get to Johannesburg. Might be this airport, I believe, but there are some few places you can go within the South African region, of course. So that's definitely some stuff I'd recommend. Now, also in here, you can go to the northern touristy airports. So we got that Santander place up there in Spain. I'd definitely recommend going from Porto or Madrid. I'd 100% recommend that. Here, I wouldn't really recommend it unless you just change your destination airport. So of course, there are the little bits down here, which are like south, so San Diego. Very popular airport. Not as popular anymore since Global came out, but it definitely used to be very popular. Also, you can get in the Hawaiian 717 aircraft, and you can fly in Hawaii. So literally just do some chill island hopping. And there's also Sydney, the Sydney region. So I think you got Newcastle up here. Oh, that's Cross Harbour. So Newcastle is one of these, I believe, or it's up here somewhere. And there are some good routes you can fly here. Now, I'm not too sure if we do have Canberra Airport anymore. We'll just have a quick look for Canberra. I might have spelt it wrong. But yeah, if you can find Canberra, I definitely recommend Sydney's Canberra. But again, even Coffs Harbour down to Sydney in a Qantas, there's a 717 Qantas, there's an A380 Qantas, whatever floats your boat. And of course, the Rio to Sao Paulo you might be able to do. So we got Sao Paulo here. We don't have Rio, unfortunately, but we do got this little place, so you can fly here. So there are a few routes you can do in the Brazil region, not as many. But there are, of course, lots of options with aircraft. You got the 717s, like I said, you can get the Malaysia Airlines 717 for the routes I showed you, the Qantas. So all of these to be as realistic as you want. The Asiana Airlines, United Airlines for some of the American routes you can fly. So there are lots and lots of different routes you can fly. So if you did enjoy this video and found it helpful, let me know down below. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you as well in tomorrow's YouTube video. Good night.
Find your way into this wonderland, cross the